and today I'm going to be talking about my experience with COVID. And I know I'm not an expert or anything of COVID, but I'm going to be telling you my experience and my mom and my sister's experience. So, get ready to listen to a long story. So, it was January 9th that my mom was feeling crappy, right? She was having a headache, low fever, and a lot of other symptoms. So then January 13th, I woke up, and so also the house people, the people that work on the house, were doing the master bathroom. So they were putting tar in the master bathroom the day before. So I woke up the 13th and I had acid reflux. And it is the nastiest thing ever. So I was like, I never get this. What's going on? So then, the couple hours go by and I'm starting to have a sore throat and a headache, and I usually get headaches anyways because my glasses, my eyeballs are bad. So then pretty much I had a headache and I was sweating and I had a sore throat. I felt nauseous, and I thought it was because of the tar from the master bathroom. So then the next few days, I had a sore throat, I had phlegm, I had a headache, I had, was sweating, diarrhea, and pretty much all of the symptoms on the COVID list I had, except trouble breathing and just the medical stuff I didn't have, but everything else, the common symptoms, I had. The 20th, my sister got tested. So pretty much a couple days before that, she had a huge fever. It was 102, and then her oxygen was low, really low. So I was like, yeah, you're gonna, I told my mom, I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to go take her because that is not okay. So then she took her to get tested, and then we did the 22nd. It was on a Saturday. It was the 22nd and the 23rd. And we went to get tested, and oh my god, the experience, that was horrible. Because so I was feeling okay. I didn't have phlegm. I had a headache, just a little one though. And I was sweating, stuff like that. And so, the night before that, I had body aches, okay? And then, so me and my mom got tested, and then we're waiting for results, day after. The 17th, I believe it was the Sunday before. So I believe it was the 17th, yeah. I'd have to go check. But I believe, yeah, it was the 17th. My family, my brother and sister-in-law came to the house and we exchanged gifts. And I didn't think I had COVID because, of what happened to the house, doing that stuff. So then I started to lose my smell that Monday. So then when we got tested, the 22nd and 23rd, we got tested. I can't remember exactly. I do remember it was a Saturday. So then we got tested then, and just the experience of it was horrible. They shoved it all the way up to my brain, and it didn't feel good. I started crying because of the pain and I had a stuffy nose, no smell. Yeah, pretty much, and I had a little headache and stuff that day. And let me tell you, no smell is horrible, like literally horrible. I mean, it's better than not being in the hospital, right? But it's still bad. So then, after that, like a couple days after, my mom got her test result. I got my test result. I got my test result that night a couple days after, and it was like, it said on the email, you got your COVID test result. And I was like, great. So then I logged in, and I was like just like the nerve of like knowing like, oh, I possibly can have, I possibly don't, like whatever. So then I was just so panicky, right? So then it was positive, obviously, and I was like, great. So I went out to the living room, and I was like, Mom, did you get your test? Because we tested the same day. So I was like, yeah, she probably did. So then she's like, oh, like, you got your test? And I was like, yeah. She's like, what was it? I was like, not gonna say until you open yours, right? So then she opened it, and she's like, F, right? F word. And, yeah, so we had COVID. So then my dad had to quarantine for 2 weeks, but he's still working, obviously. But he had to quarantine in the house, but he still worked, from home. So that was good. And he had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and it wasn't long. It wasn't the longest 2 weeks. And so then February 1st to the 4th, no smell at all. I was perfectly fine other than no smell. The COVID doctor did say I was good to go and that my 2 weeks was up, and yeah. So then the 1st and 4th, I had no smell. And I was like, great, I might not even get my smell back, because some people don't get their smell back. That's what I've read, And I mean, it's a percentage of like people that like might not get their, like a little tiny chance that people won't get their smell back. But it is true that some people don't get their smell back. And the 5th to the 7th of February, I could smell like my candle just a tiny bit, but then when I smelled it again, I couldn't smell anything. Same goes to my eucalyptus stress relief from Bath & Body Works. Same thing. I could smell just a tiny bit. When I smelled it again, couldn't smell anything. Then I sprayed some perfume on me, and I had really strong perfume. I smelt it, couldn't smell anything. Now my body spray, I could smell just a tiny bit, right? But then when I smelt again, nothing. So the 8th and 9th, can't smell nothing. Today, can't smell anything. Can't even smell the medicine on my dogs. Can't smell the coffee, like the strong coffee that my mom has. Can't smell anything. So I don't know if this is a phase of, can smell, and then I won't be able to smell ever again. I don't know if it's the phase of going through that. But I'm not really getting my hopes up because of that, how it is. I mean, I'm still like hoping, but I'm not gonna hope too much because I don't want to get my hopes up. So I don't know what's happening, but it's kind of scaring me because, yeah, they say it takes, for some people, it takes up to a year to smell. But if so, will I ever be able to smell like how I used to be able to smell? Will I be able to even smell? Right? Like, is this just a little phase of being able to smell one little thing and then not being able to smell, and then it's gonna be like that? I don't know, but it was pretty scary. The pros and cons to COVID was, if you end up like how I am, not in the hospital and stuff, be lucky, because a lot of people do get into the hospital and a lot of people don't get to be alive, and it sucks. It sucks. And I am so happy that I am alive. And even though if I can't smell, I'm still alive, because I get a second chance of being alive. And yeah, it's super, super, super lucky. But you know, I got it somehow. I don't even know how, but I was super careful. I hand sanitized, wear my mask, and a whole bunch of other things. So I don't know how the heck that happened. But you know, be thankful you're alive, whoever had it and is still alive. And I am actually really happy I had it, because not knowing if you're going to be in the hospital or not is really, really, really scary. And thankfully I wasn't in the hospital. And that's a pro, is that when you get it and you're not in the hospital and you survived, then you can be like, I don't have to worry about it for my intake. But I have to still wear the mask and hand sanitize for other people's safety, right? So not saying that I'm not going to wear a mask or hand sanitize. I just am going to not be so like panicky about it. Obviously when I'm with friends and stuff, and my father, I'm not going to be like, you know, obviously I'm not be like, oh, free spirit, and like not hand sanitize or wear a mask, you know what I mean? I'm just going to be I'll be careful, you know, but not as I used to be, right? So yeah, that's my experience with COVID, and people can ask me on Instagram or whatever more questions, and I could do like a Q&A if you want me to. So I'll leave my Instagram down below. But yeah, people can ask me a whole bunch of questions, and I could do a Q&A for people that hasn't gotten it, or people that have but just want to hear, So I hope you guys enjoyed my experience. I know I was a little like kind of rambling and at first kind of like, what's the word? Distracted, but that's okay. Like, not everyone can like remember stuff like super easily, like the dates and stuff. But yeah, so it was very scary. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to look at my Instagram and DM me and ask me a whole bunch of questions, so I could do a Q&A if you want me to. So have a good day and be safe, and